Welcome to Nature's Neighbor on AM 1230 KPRL. Nature's Neighbor. We're live and local and all about living sustainably right here on the Central Coast.
Welcome to our weekly show here on KPRL 1230. I am your host, Melanie Blankenship, sitting alongside our boy, Chad Stevens, here with the controls on this beautiful Monday afternoon, the middle of September. Here we are, and wow, I can't believe that I'm back again. This last week flew by, literally. I think I've blinked, and here we are again. And so we're going to take this next couple of minutes. This is a very short show, but, you know, if you have a call or a question that you want to call in live here on the radio, give us a call, 238-5775, 238-KPRL. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions, or you can always find us on Facebook at Nature's Neighbor, Growing from Your Roots. You can ask the questions there. You can also come and enjoy Nature's Touch Nursery and Harvest. I am located in downtown Templeton. We are our full in-season grocery store, and I've been there for several years, and I'm there to help you answer all your in-season food questions. And so with that, I want to take a moment and answer a gentleman's question that posted on Facebook last week. He asked about non-metallic nutrients available if photosynthesis is not. I'm asking you, if you're listening, to call in and maybe emphasize, are you looking for a supplement nutrients? Are you looking for, what to do? Like, we use compost tea as well, how I'm going to approach this. We make our compost with a blend of assorted different things that have decomposed within a organized manner. We've applied the heat that is necessary to break down all that is there and turn them back into the microorganisms. And then we use that compost, we dilute it with water, and we make a tea, and we will foliar applicate that way, giving some non-metallic nutrient substitutes into our garden that way. So if that's answering your question a little bit better, and if you want to go into more detail, respond to Facebook and or come into Nature's Touch, and I'd be more than happy to show you the example of the compost that I'm talking about, go into broader detail about how we make our compost. Meaning myself, I farm biodynamically, and so we can't use anything that does not come from the earth in which we are farming around. And so we have to figure out, what we can do with the tools that we have naturally within our system to apply them to the growing that we're doing. And so, if I'm growing for a direct market, sometimes it doesn't necessarily come out exactly the way that I think it needs to, or that the market does, but I am actually growing for clean, honest, high quality, high nutrient dense food. So that's growing biodynamically. I usually hit the ball out of the park when I focus more on quality instead of quantity, and a demand that sometimes goes too fast for Mother Nature. So as we continue this conversation on gardening and answering the questions, I hear that we are supposed to be cooling down a little bit. This is exciting because it's been very rare that we don't have foggy mornings. Usually in September we would have some type of foggy mornings, and so I think we've maybe had one here in our area, and so we are really dry. So I am going to emphasize to everyone out there, especially in North County and beyond, don't overwater. We are in a crazy dry period, and doesn't necessarily mean that your plants are dry. Go out, aerate your soil slightly. Don't get deep, because the more depth you get into your soil, evaporation starts to happen. But it is very, very, very important right now that you're out composting and mulching. Mulching helps alleviate some of that dehydration that would happen in your soil. Compost acts as a slow release fertilizer, giving your plants what they need when they need it. And so that's really, really important to be applying that now to your garden. And then a good mulch system, straw is ideal. Make sure you have straw, not forage hay. Forage hay has seeds, and so you wouldn't want to grow forage seed in your green bed. So, make sure that you get a good bale of straw. Straw works really well right now, and especially with it being so dry, you don't have to worry about molds and mildews. Like when you use straw in the springtime, when we're getting the rain and it's starting to decompose in your garden, it tends to grow a little bit of mold, and also certain types of rodents like to grow, hide and make their nest under there. So this is the time when you are mulching to save any bit of moisture that you possibly can that is available in that soil, because we don't want to overdo it at all right now, especially with the amount of people that are having well problems and water problems. Let's all focus on being more conservative with our water, because it is that precious resource that we all need, and we all need to eat. So let's make food the most important, and let's do it right by not overdoing it. So if you guys also need some more detail on how to compost, how to mulch, know that I'm available via Facebook, or you could even email me at naturestouch@sbcglobal.net, and I'd be more than happy to help you out a little bit more in detail on how to preserve water and how to farm. I've had a lot of people this last week come into the store and ask about what should be planting right now. And right now is the time where you should not be getting into the ground. And now it's all about harvest. The heat is upon us. The soil is dry. We need to conserve on water. All new plantings, no matter what you're planting, tend to need more water to get them established. So, like I said, we really need to focus on conservation right now. So, right now it's called the dormant time, or also known being patient time. Mother Nature will give us the tools that we need to be able to get the things that we need to survive. And why I say that is, so it does look like we're supposed to be getting cold. Let's hope for some more foggy mornings. Let's hope also for not a lot of moisture. The old North County Wise Tale says that if you get measurable rain before Thanksgiving, measurable rain, they're even saying like a quarter kind of thing, that usually stimulates a drought spring. I would rather get the rain more in the spring, but, that's, old wise tale. The old wise tale says if you see a tarantula moving north, that's also a good indicator that we're going to be getting rain in the next 2 weeks. I saw one 2.5 weeks ago. So it wasn't moving north, though. It was moving east. So maybe I misread it.
That might have been it.
It could have been. And then the other wise tale is when the oak tree acorns start to rain. There's another indicator that rain is soon to come. And so they're starting to rain on the back of a metal roof building and a big oak tree over it, aka Nature's Touch. Sometimes sounds like you need a duck, because they're all starting to drop at once. So there's a lot of indication that it's coming. Let's just hope that it comes and comes when we need it. So I wouldn't want it to pour rain right now in the middle of harvest, but a little nice dusting of rain to settle the dust would be really nice about now. And so that is going to be our indicator of when it's time to start planting. So I see we have a phone call.
Good afternoon. You're on Nature's Neighbor.
Good afternoon. Melanie, I appreciate your comment last week on zucchini. I thought I was the world's most terrible gardener having zucchini failures. I'm glad to see I wasn't alone. But the good news is I replanted later planting, and these ones seem to be doing better. But the question I have for you is related to tomatoes. Roma tomatoes specifically. I planted a wide variety of tomatoes. They all seem to do well except Romas. They're all puny, tiny little things. And my other tomatoes, at least at the beginning of the season, they do well. We get a normal-sized tomato. The early girls come in, real nice tomatoes, and other varieties that I plant. However, they all get smaller as the season progresses. But why? What am I doing wrong with Romas that they're always little puny things?
Have you ever gotten a crop that's produced a Roma that is a good size?
Nope.
Okay.
That doesn't matter where I plant the darn thing in the place.
Okay. Are you familiar with the variety in Roma that you're growing? Is it a good possibility that could just be a Roma that isn't a good producing sized Roma? Is that possible?
I suppose, although I have planted some other, I'll call it Roma-type tomatoes, San Ramino. And,
San Marzano,
yeah, a couple of those, and they seem to have the same difficulties. I thought that just by getting the ordinary old garden variety of Roma, I'd be okay, but evidently not.
So the growers that I'm getting San Marzanos and the true Romas from right now are literally in Creston-type climates, meaning very, very, very dry, sandy loam soil, and very hot. And they're getting a 6 o'clock early morning moderate water, not a lot, and literally letting it go dry before the next watering is happening. So those are the ones that we're getting the Romas from right now. And that's how those are being grown. They were only composted when they were planted. They have not been given any other type of nutrient supplement. They, pretty much are getting the nutrients that they need from the compost. Romas need it dry, and there's a good chance that the hybrid Roma that you grew could have been an early season, maybe too, that it could have just been that it was a one-time early producing, and then that's it. It could be that. It could be just the fact that the strain of Romas that you have might not necessarily be strong enough to really put off a good production. So if you want to bring me in a little sample of what you have, I'd be more than happy to maybe look at it and give you a better answer on that. So we are going to take a really quick break here on Nature's Neighbor, and we will continue this conversation after all of our messages.
Now, you mentioned Thanksgiving. I know you want to talk turkey, and last week we talked heirloom seeds. We'll get back to that on Nature's Neighbor right here on KPRL.
Welcome back to the second half of our Nature's Neighbor show right here on KPRL 1230 AM. I am your host again, Melanie Blankenship, sitting with our boy Chad Stevens. I see that we have another phone call.
We do. Good afternoon. You're on Nature's Neighbor.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. I've got a question. I've got a dwarfed orange tree that is in a pot. I use a water meter to check the moisture in the soil, so I don't overwater this, and it's dropping green leaves like it's going out of style. It's on the south side of the house.
Okay.
And I just...
Where are you located? Are you... Okay.
Paso Robles off of Golden Hill.
Off of okay. So more than likely why it's dropping leaf is because it's too hot, too dry. Citrus,
too hot, too dry?
Yeah, too hot, too dry. So the best way to grow citrus in the North County via inland North County is to create as much of a coastal-like atmosphere as you can for that tree. So they thrive on higher humidity and a cooler humidity. So there's certain areas like in Atascadero, like off of Highway 41, that can get away with growing Meyer lemons, and and oranges actually need a little bit more humidity. So you're gonna laugh at this, but the way I got oranges to grow in Heritage Ranch is I actually would mist them with a fan.
With what?
Mist them with a fan. So just literally cold water, spray it, mist it about twice a day, early morning, late evening. Just get the higher humidity and cooler. Also, too, like on these really hot days, like anything above 95 or above, I would actually go and get ice and put ice around the pots of them to try to cool the soil down, because it's in the soil that they need it cool. It's in the above that they need the humidity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I usually use, the ice on the things in the pots to water them. So
yeah.
Would the misting apply also to camellias in this area?
Yeah, they need a higher humidity. Camellias do beautiful in Santa Barbara because of that humidity, that coastal influence. And so, yeah, I mean, the same thing. They actually need a little bit more than citrus. Citrus actually can handle a little bit drier. So, yeah, I mean, any bit of, humidity, cooler humidity. Don't think of, the heat outside and just, because a lot of it evaporates. So you need to stimulate the coolness. Citrus thrives in 65-degree daytime temperatures. So, and in the middle of the winter, too, when we get those below freezing temperatures here in Paso, make sure that you're creating a warmer humidity, meaning, so in Heritage Ranch, I used to always, where your dryer vent comes out of your house,
Yeah.
I would move all my citrus pots by that and make sure that I always was drying clothes early in the morning when it was freezing so that I could save my citrus. Yes, that's how crazy I am sometimes. So turning my dryer on to dry my clothes was saving my citrus, and I actually would get a dozen to 2 dozen oranges per tree. So
Interesting.
yeah, not a big crop, but actually it was a really good crop. So, so that's, just creating the atmosphere in which they are used to growing. And that's why I always say you can grow anything here. It's just how much work do you want to do to get it to produce. And
Yeah, I'm new in the area, and I did live in Santa Barbara for many, many years, so I was able to grow these things successfully, and camellias up in Washington State beautifully.
Yeah,
Here,
they need the cooler.
everything gets fried.
Yeah, it's that drier climate and that colder. So just know that you got to, in order to do it, you just got to create that atmosphere. So thank you so much for the call. Have a good rest of your day. And I want to touch base just a quick second on, yes, you mentioned heirloom turkeys. Everybody thinks of Thanksgiving when? The week before Thanksgiving. Well, all of us farmers, all of us producers are gearing up right now for Thanksgiving. And what I say by that is we have beautiful heirloom turkeys. What is an heirloom? An heirloom has to date back at least 50 years or more. Not the bird itself, but the breed has to date back at least 50 years or more, that are free-ranging, being fed non-GMO, all organic feed. Even there's no corn, soy, or wheat, so they are on the gluten-free line. Our turkeys are beautiful right now. So we're on that stage now of taking deposits at Nature's Touch to guarantee your free-range, beautiful heirloom turkey. It's all about now putting the numbers out there to let people know that if you want this, you got to get them now because they sell out. We only have between 4 people that are raising them. We only have about 250 birds. And so that's not very many when you look at your community around us. And so I wanted to put it out there, let you guys know that we have them available. They're coming. I have a lot of repeat customers, so there's not very many left to sell, but I wanted to let people know because everybody always says when they come in on Thanksgiving and want a bird that we needed a way to get it out to them before to remind them. And just know that a heritage bird takes about, on the average, we're going to be harvesting 25 to 32-week-old birds. Most of your common standard are about, your broad-breasted turkeys, they will harvest at about 12 weeks. So a little bit different. These guys have been all out ranging, open land, never been caged, and these guys are beautiful. So just to let you guys all know, come into Nature's Touch and get your deposits on our Thanksgiving birds. We are at our end again, and we will be back next Monday, and join us then. And if you have any other questions, please contact us via Facebook, via Nature's Touch. Thank you so much, you guys, for all your support out there. Chad, we'll see you next week.
All right, Melanie. Once again, if you would like to ask a question about Nature's Neighbor on Facebook, Nature's Neighbor Show, Growing from Our Roots on Facebook. We'll talk with Melanie next week, 12:35, right here on The Right Choice, AM 1230, KPRL.